just adjectives that are often used to describe something we like. Beautiful has given the rise to philosophic and abstraction of a great transcendence, but in practice it had never obtained the status of something absolute, has been proposed and still imposed canons of relationship, proportions, trait, but finally even all depends on the time of the social cultural context where or from they are observed. Now, what we define, what do we like? This is a question that is posed by many anthropologists about which are the references to guide the modification of human beings in order to enhance their beauty, making synonymous of what we like, what is the beautiful, and what we attract. What exactly do we define as attractive? In this is the dilemma of beauty brought of every day. If it's possible to define it in quantity or quality terms, the question is substantial, since it can be said without not much problem that someone or something is more beautiful after it belongs to a modification, but how much beautiful, or it becomes beautiful without having it before. For Kant, the perception of beauty is the result of the association between the object of the nature and the pleasure associated with its observation. Its beauty, pleasure associated with quality, whether in the sublime pleasure that accompanies quantity, or both, attraction and rejection are dependent on the sensitivity of each human being. In this way, the answer is not simple, nor can it be linear, because beauty is not meant by the determining of absolute construct. It is in the perception of characteristic of the nature of the object and the subject in question, captured through the gaze and according to the subjectivity of the individual who perceives it, especially when it looks and defines what is beautiful. However, this definition depends on the cultural identity, society, time, fashion, in a word, in individual and social perception, and what it means or symbolizes a certain trait to a person that observes it. If it was simple to delimit the beauty term, there would be no controversy or conflicted opinions. In Greek philosophy of the 15th and 16th centuries, beauty was always associated with goodness and divinity. The term of beauty was expressed in perfection, nobility, and value. It means the unity of infinite human world with divine and infinite. It will know that Plato established a theory according to which everything was related in the world, in the senses not only of a reflection of a true reality, but it was also found only in the words of the idea. What we can see in the existence of people, if beautiful is something that is provided, we can see around what happens in the painters, in art, how is the normality of people different of what we can see in all the population. Islam has a clear, deep vocation of beauty. Here we can see some pictures also of with malformation, congenital malformation, or some sicknesses. In Islam, they have a deep and clear vocation for beauty. Art was not an external addition in this way of honoring God. It was a way of living every type of relation. The miracle of perfection of all orders, and in particular beauty, has manifested. Beauty is part of life. God is beautiful and loves beauty. He made a beautiful world through which we can observe it. From a philosophical perspective, the body is the manifestation of humanity. The body has a specific meaning and expression. In its own form, the relation, it says, a person who lives in his own existence and relates to other men through the body. The body represents a person in his world and the origin of culture and humanity, human intentionality. In the body is possible to manifest the self, its existence. The Islam has a clear, deep vocation for beauty. According to Ibn, there has been classes of beauty, the sweetness and the feature and grace of movement. Abulcasis was the first well-recognized some techniques of plastic and reconstructive surgery. In a strictly sense, each procedure in surgery has a part of plastic and reconstructive art. Here we can see on the book 1 some of the themes he has, I chose for that has a relation of aesthetic or reconstructive surgery. In the book 2, these are all the themes, and in the book 2, loosen of the treatment of cancer, the amputation, the loss of the teeth and the correction. And in the book 3, some of the procedures that now they are part of the plastic surgery. Well, I have taken some examples of what are some of the treatment of plastic surgery. As Abulcasis says, infants sometimes are born with an perforated auditory. It also gets an obstruction of the passage of the ear, either from an adherence or from a flesh. Or the loosening of the skin of the scrotum. And he talks about this, has a horrible appearance, and he who desires to treat this condition should make the patient lie on his back, and he gives all the recipe to treat this condition. Or in the treatment of cancer, the ancient said when the cancer has a site and the eradication is possible, such cancer, breast or thigh, you can remove it. Or in the treatment of exophthalmos, that the reduction impairment of vision who get the balls open. So Abulcasis always, or in this case, in the chapter 47, in the treatment of male breast when resembles a female. So Abulcasis always emphasized the importance of a good physician and the patient relationship. taking care of the safety of patient and always interested to transmit his knowledge. He transformed the innovation and the modification of the surgery practice, especially in Italian and subsequently to all European surgery. The instrument and their use on one scientific communication of that time. As in the past, as in the present, and I think maybe in the future, we can take Abulcasis' word, especially in plastic and reconstructive surgery, where is the subject of suffering, where the patient demands and based the necessity, the desire of beauty, and I finalize this communication telling Abulcasis' word. So I warn you against undertaking any cases in which there is an element of doubt of you. For the exercise of art, you will be modded by all kinds of persons with all manner of affliction. So be wary of sicknesses, that death itself is a relief on account of excess of suffering and the length of the miseries. The illness being some settled as presaged death. Some will lavish, then will wither on you and enrich you, and the hope they be curable in their time. Thank you very much.
Very interesting presentation. I would ask if there is a possible relationship with the much later work of the Italian plastic surgeon Tagliacozzi, but this will be postponed, as we said, at the end of the session. Now I kindly ask my co-chairman, Professor Robert Fani, and I hand him the microphone of the session.
Thank you very much, Giorgio. We will proceed immediately, thank you very much, with Sharif Kaf Al-Ghazal from England. We have already heard quite a lot of things about the surgery of Abulcasis, but I think he again will try to explain us that he is the pioneer of our Western surgery and Eastern surgery, modern surgery.